As we're stepping into the second half of 2021, we are having a lot of Apple products waiting to be released. We've got either the iPhone 13 or iPhone 12s, no one knows for sure. We've got the Apple Watch Series 7 with a rumored redesign, and we've got all sorts of Macs waiting to be updated with the next generation of Apple Silicon. And if you love your new products so much, wouldn't you want to take an extra step in protecting them? So here comes the question. Should you get AppleCare Plus with these products? This is Clem from Future Reference, and this is the video to watch. If you search online, reviews of AppleCare Plus are quite mixed. And a lot of the times it's really hard to compare how AppleCare Plus works across different Apple products, because you can get AppleCare Plus for your Mac, your iPhone, your iPad, but you can also get it for your Apple Watch, your AirPods, your HomePod, and your Apple TV, so on and so on. So what I've realized is that one person talking about their experience with AppleCare Plus with one particular product is not going to be that useful. Personally, I have been investing in AppleCare Plus since 2017, including for my Apple Watch, my iPhone, and my MacBook Pro. The most useful advice I can give you is not a definitive answer of whether you should or shouldn't get AppleCare Plus, but instead let you know about my experience. And in that process, I can show you the ways to determine for yourself whether AppleCare Plus is for you or not. First, let's turn our attention to the iPhone. This is my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and the AppleCare Plus plan on it is going to last me until 2022. But there isn't much we can talk about at this point. There are some nicks and scratches on the phone, but everything else is working fine, and the battery health level is at 87%. So instead, I'm going to talk about AppleCare Plus on my previous phone, the iPhone 10. The iPhone 10 was the first product I bought AppleCare Plus for, and the reason behind that was that Apple introduced a new display technology called OLED to the iPhone 10. Of course, OLED provided the iPhone 10 with exceptional contrast, giving it a very vibrant display, but it also came with its downside, a higher risk for burn-in. And towards the second year of me owning my iPhone 10, the burn-in situation really set in, and I was increasingly annoyed because there was this permanent imprint of my home screen on my iPhone 10, whichever app I was using. In addition to that, as expected for someone who uses their phone as much as I do, the battery health level of my iPhone 10 was also quite low at just 74%. And this serves as a very convenient segue to one of the features that a lot of my friends are not aware of when they're getting AppleCare Plus for their iPhones. And this feature is called Express Replacement. The availability of this feature depends on your region, but at least in the UK, the Express Replacement service can have your device replaced from the comforts of your home. You order a replacement, your new device will arrive, and then you just need to ship your old device back with the box provided, and there you go, you're done. In my experience, I got my iPhone 10 replacement the very next day, and that was quite a lot quicker than what I was expecting. But even if it arrives in like 3 working days, considering I'm living nowhere near an Apple store and I don't need to wait for a genius to show up and tend to me, it just doesn't get any better than that. One thing to note though, if you're just wanting your screen to be replaced, it might be better off for you to head to Apple Store yourself to get it fixed. If you have AppleCare Plus, then getting your screen replaced instead of the whole phone replaced will cost you £25 instead of £79. But at the end of the day, for £79, I've got myself a new screen with no burn-in, a new battery with 100% battery health, and a phone body with no nicks and scratches. It just can't be any easier than that. But the same story cannot be said with the companion of my iPhone, the Apple Watch Series 3. Although I have purchased AppleCare Plus for my Apple Watch, I have done nothing with it in terms of replacements and repairs because nothing has gone wrong with this watch, ever. This probably has something to do with how I use it. I'm a comparatively light user of my watch, so I only use it for notifications and some lightweight apps and some activity tracking. So, in the grand scheme of things, after more than 3 years of use, the battery health of this thing is still at 91%. But this is the thing with AppleCare Plus. It's an insurance policy for your Apple product. It's a reassurance that if things go wrong, you won't be left out of pocket, not necessarily a consumable good you will definitely use. And yes, technically, towards the end of my AppleCare Plus plan, I could have requested the express replacement service for this watch for just £49. But then the only problem with this watch was that there are some scratches on the body and the screen, and I didn't want to produce more electronic waste than I needed to. It just didn't sit well with my conscience. And here's the big one, my MacBook Pro. I bought a MacBook Pro back in 2016, but this is not the MacBook Pro I'm talking about because I've got my whole MacBook Pro replaced in 2018. Again, I was having problems with my screen. There was a weird sort of yellow tint across the bottom of my screen, and I was thinking to myself, that's not supposed to happen. And then I brought it to the Apple store and they were like, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. And then they ordered my screen to be repaired with no further questions. The amazing thing is that they checked for other defects on my computer as well, and they found some problems with the motherboard, so they've decided to replace the whole MacBook Pro for me altogether. And in the end, I was absolutely delighted. Apparently, I would have had to pay £900 to replace everything if I did not have the AppleCare protection plan for my MacBook Pro. And considering I only paid £200 for my MacBook Pro AppleCare protection plan, I really got lucky that time. So, what is the verdict? Do we need AppleCare Plus? You might be thinking, Clem, you got lucky with your iPhone and your MacBook Pro, but you got nothing out of your Apple Watch. So what are you trying to tell us? Well, what I've learned is that judging if you need AppleCare Plus based on the likelihood of you needing your device serviced is impossible. It's like a withdrawal. You may accidentally cause damage that your warranty doesn't cover, or the product you have is faulty and it breaks outside of your warranty period. These things just happen for no reason, really, completely unpredictably. Instead, when we're considering whether to buy AppleCare Plus for our Apple products, there are two things we can consider. Is the device you're buying integral to your day-to-day life? And when it's broken, do you need it fixed urgently? By asking yourself these two questions, it's going to be clear whether you need AppleCare Plus or not. For me, it will be a must for me to get AppleCare Plus for any future Macs I buy, because my work depends on it, and it's a no-brainer I want to get it fixed relatively affordably if anything goes wrong. AppleCare Plus would also come in handy for my iPhone. Now, I know that my work doesn't depend on my iPhone, but I honestly can't imagine living my life without my iPhone, with all my train tickets and Apple Pay, everything all in one place. And AppleCare Plus makes sure that I have access to the express replacement service so that I can get my phone replaced in just a few days without going to the Apple Store. It saves me time and gives me a peace of mind. On the contrary, I won't need AppleCare Plus for my Apple Watch. As much as I love my Apple Watch, I just won't struggle with my daily life if I can't track my daily activities or see my notifications on my wrist. And considering I'm not an avid athlete and I'm not that clumsy of a person, I'm not expecting my Apple Watch screen to be shattered anytime soon. And now it's your turn to think about these two questions and decide for yourself. The possibilities are endless. If you're a professional athlete preparing for a marathon, then of course go and have your Apple Watch insured. And if you're not such a technophile like me, then you can probably skip AppleCare Plus for your iPhone. As long as you bear in mind these two questions, no matter what you buy and no matter what you do, whether or not you need AppleCare Plus will be a quick and easy decision. Thank you so much for watching. I've been asked a lot about AppleCare Plus by my family and friends, so I'm just really glad to be able to consolidate my 5-year experience with AppleCare Plus into a useful guide to share with you all. But if you're still having trouble deciding, feel free to leave a comment down below and we'll have a nice chat about it. For now, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more of my tips, tricks and reviews in the future. This is Clem signing off, and I'll see you again real soon on Future Reference.